nuts headlight install on a bump side truck. I'll show you all tips and tricks and help you be successful the first time out on what you need to do to get this done right. So the first thing you're going to need to do is disconnect the positive battery cable from the battery and the starter solenoid. Make sure when you put everything back together, you get all the factory wires back on the solenoid, because that's what powers the truck, powers the inside of the dash, the starting circuit, and everything else. If you leave one wire off, it won't work. All right, we're going to mount the relays to the bottom of the voltage regulator. The voltage regulator is located on the radiator core support over right next to the battery. So you can see it there. There's a capacitor. We're going to move to the top. We're going to move that to the top. We're going to mount the relays down here. And once you get it mounted, it should look something like this. All right, we're going to utilize that factory ground there. So we're going to pull that screw out. We're going to run the relay harness through the radiator support out to the headlight. We're going to hook that ground and the factory ground back to that same bolt right there. Kit comes with a new stainless screw to put in there. So the next step is to run the relay harness headlight sockets out to the headlights. On the passenger side, there's that square hole. You can kind of see it there. You're going to run the orange from the short side of the relay harness. The orange plug and the black plug. Run through that square. Comes out through the headlight hole. You're going to plug in the black connector to the factory headlight plug on the passenger side. I'm going to push that back into the out of the way a little bit. This black ground wire, we're going to connect back up with the factory ground wire back where it came from, back up inside. Now I just gotta find it. All right, here's a little tip when you're putting that ground screw back on. Just take a little plastic bag or paper, something. You can wedge that socket onto that bolt with that plastic in there, and it'll hold your screw for you. Just a little tip. All right, you should have something that looks like that. Factory ground, new relay harness ground attached back on. If you leave that factory ground off, there's a lot of stuff on this side. It's not going to work. It works your park lights, your turn signal, everything on the passenger side front uses that one ground. So make sure you get it put back on there. All right, the next step is just to plug the headlight on like our normal headlight. Just the orange plug goes on the back of the headlight, just like any other incandescent bulb you've ever put in your life. Okay. All right, here's the tip. The split on the headlight ring goes to the bottom, so hold it in. Put the ring over your arm, hold your headlight in. Make sure the split goes to the bottom. It should just fall right on. I need to. There we go. There it is. Screw it out a little bit more. The legs on the new headlights a little bit longer. There it is.
It's in.
And that's how it goes. Right onto the driver's side. Run the long leg of the relay harness up between the radiator and the core support. This truck's got an overflow. Most trucks don't of this vintage. We're going to fish the connector through the round hole there. It's going to come out here. We're not going to use the factory plug anymore, so just going to tuck it down out of the way. We don't need it. Just fix it up. Just like we did on the passenger side, we're going to utilize that factory ground the new orange headlight connector, put the factory ground back in place, and use the same bolt hole. Use the new stainless screw that comes with the kit. Should be ready to put the headlight in. Use the same trick. Slide the ring over your arm, hold the flashlight, or hold the headlight in. Line up the tabs. Move the back screws
Off a little more. Bottom ones give me a little bit of fit.
Always what we want. Pretty close. There it is.
There we go. There we go.
Yep. So the next step is we're going to hook the power up to the relay source. So just utilize the factory harness location. It runs up to the battery or to the starter solenoid. We're going to tie wrap that up with some tie wraps that come with the kit. And you hook on the red wire to the positive side of the starter solenoid with the battery cable. So we're going to hook that out and we'll be right back. All right, once you get your power to the relay hooked up, hook up your positive cable back on the battery. And we're going to test, make sure we've got headlights that work. We got dim. Get bright. Looks good. Next step is just to tidy up stuff. We're going to tidy up the relay harness and put the headlight bezels back on. We'll be finished up. There's how the clip works. Holds it to the core support. Just kind of slides it from the bottom there. Holds it up really tight. There's 3 of them, but this truck's got air conditioner. I couldn't get but 2 on it, but there it goes. I wrap it down here. Looks pretty decent for aftermarket, I would say. Works good. We got that power wire all tied to the factory harness there.